Hello and welcome to Denis Garage. Today we're gonna have a look at not one but two watches, two Raketa Baltika. Before we have a look at the two watches, let's have a bit of clarification about the Baltika appellation. Actually, Baltika was a brand of the Petrovorest watch factory up to 1962. So they were producing watches with a 2609 movement, and after 1962, the same watches were branded Raketa instead. So that's why some collectors usually refer of Raketa Baltika some of the classical dress watches with the 2609 movement inside. And they were produced so from early 60s to early mid 70s. In today's video, we'll concentrate more on this model, which is a 6531 that first appears in 1967. And I think this one is dated from 73 to 75. That's what I have found in the Raketa official catalogs. As most Raketa from this era, they came in different dial, different colors of case. So this one was available in black, or like this one in champagne color. And they came also in chrome cases or gold-plated like this one. And actually, this one is in really good condition, as you can see on the screen. So if we compare the Raketa Baltika to their competition, let's start with here a Peugeot Deluxe. We can see that they are usually much more fancy watches. Same if we take Vostok Precision, they are more serious than the same period dress watch from Raketa. So these watches are, I would say, more sophisticated due to their movement, which for this one, for example, is a very slim movement. And if we take the Vostok Precision, it's a high-end movement with 22 joules, as this one is, I think, 16 joules and less sophisticated. But they put all their effort on having different dials, so there are many variations of the dials, and as we can see, especially on this model, they are much more fancy. Let's look now at the spec. So the case diameter is 33.6 and with the crown is 35.7 millimeters. So here we have the 20 micron gold-plated version. So the lug-to-lug is 40 millimeters and the thickness on both models, they have exactly the same case. They have a thickness of 9.6 millimeters. The lug opening is 18 millimeters. And this watch weighs with this leather strap 36 grams. They have the same dome crystal. Actually, I think in both watch it's a replacement because they are in very good condition. So the crown are always a push-down crown with no branding on the crown. And if we look at the back of the case, so it's stainless steel and there is an inscription in Cyrillic, shockproof. And we have a very nice planisphere drawing. But from all the Baltika that I have seen, I really prefer this dial. First, I like or I prefer watches with Roman numeral than watches with no numeral at all. And this one, if you can see, first the dial here is not flat, which is nice touch, I think. And the four numerals are in gold color, and they are not flat. It's a kind of W shape. I hope you can see that on the video. And so the indices are also in gold color, as well as the three hands. So here the hands are very basic, and here in this one it's a little bit more sophisticated. And in this one I really like the dial. There are only two inscriptions, so let me zoom in. So it's Raketa and 16 jewels. The older version, they have here below the hands, they have the Raketa logo. We can see in both watches that the Raketa font is different. This one is more classic and this one looks more modern. This one, I would say, looks much more 60s, and this one is really from the 70s. It feels 17, even though it appears in late 60s. So let's open one of the watch. So it's a really simple and thin case back, and here is a movement. So 16 jewels, 2609, and let's start the movement. So of course, central second hand, no hacking on this one. And there were few references. So this one is a 16 jewels, but there were other references. I think the 2609B that has the 21 jewels. And it's 18,000 beats per hour, typical of Russian or Soviet watches from this era. And it has a power reserve of 39 hours. So let's see a close-up on the movement. And actually Raketa also produced movement for other brands such as Polzert, for example. Let's have also a close-up on the dials. So this one first, and the second one. So this is how it looks on my wrist. And in my opinion, this watch is much nicer than the Vostok Precision, which looks much more classical. And also, if we take a look at the Polzot, so the Polzot is more dressy than the Raketa. The Raketa is a little bit more on the sports side. So even though the Raketa is not as noble due to its movement as a Polzot or the Vostok, but it's much more solid watch. The movement is more robust than the other one, and actually it's more everyday watch than the other one. If you have a Raketa Baltika, tell me in the comment which model you have and also which one you prefer, the Raketa Baltika, the Vostok, or the Poliot. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content.